Welcome to video number 6 in our Animals All Around workshop. And we're moving on to the next bookmark, and we're also moving over to Africa on our map. So let's see what we're going to feature today in today's video. This is a nice representation of our mountains, islands, rivers, and deserts. In the last video, all of our areas were islands, but in this video, we're going to be highlighting one of each. We're going to have the Canary Islands, and we're going to focus on, going to highlight the island, the animal, which is the canary. All right. Then we're going to have the Atlas Mountains, and we're going to, that's the animal we've chosen to highlight is the wild boar. Okay, you can see it right there. And I've actually printed off from our website the description of the wild boar, which is found in the Atlas Mountains. Here's a nice little map of the Atlas Mountains. Here's a nice description about the wild boar, which is very interesting. Once you read about the wild boar, you'll find that they actually are found on every continent in the world except Antarctica. Okay, so but that's a fun animal to focus on, the Atlas Mountains. And then we have the Sahara, which is the largest desert in the world, I believe. I think Sahara means desert, maybe. If I'm not mistaken. That is, in that animal we have the desert horned viper, a type of snake. Okay, and then we have for river we have Nile River, which I believe is the longest river in the world, the Nile River, and we've chosen to highlight the Nile River hippopotamus. Okay, so those are 4 areas we're going to try to add to our continents of the world map, which won't be too difficult because the Canary Islands are actually already drawn on the map. They're small, very tiny islands off the coast of Africa. Those are the Canary Islands. Okay, so we can write them right next, like running it right above maybe. Feel free to stop the video if you need to at any time. Those are the Canary Islands, and I'm just going to put a little bit of, try to put a little blue around them to kind of make them stand out a little better. I'll also be shading along the coast of Africa. You can see I've done that for the areas we did in the last video. I've highlighted the coastline. Oh, I missed a few little spot there. Let me go back and catch that. I tried to go all the way around Greenland and Iceland. Okay, now we're going to be doing the whole continent of Africa. I won't do it all now, but you can take your time with this, nice and slow. And like I said, the slower you go, the neater your map will be. Focus on presentation and neatness when you're doing this long-term project. Okay, this is not something that you have to bang out in a day or two. This is something that you can work on over a long period of time, and little by little, even if it takes you the whole school year to do this map, you could work on it in little bits and pieces. Okay, so let's go to the next animal. We did the Canary Islands. Okay, the wild boar is located in the Atlas Mountains of Africa, and I put two little mountain symbols to show the span of the mountains right in between that area, right along the northern coast of Africa. So let's put a bunch of these little mountain symbols right up there. And that was pretty easy. Those are the Atlas Mountains, and I think I'll write it just below. I'll abbreviate mountains, MTS. All right, and I have to add some color into those. You can, once again, you can use your green and browns, make those mountains stand out a little bit. Okay, now seeing we're on to the next, this large continent of Africa, just like we did the other two continents, let's label Africa. And I think I'll choose this area because it gives me the most room to write it. I can write it a little bit bigger. If I wrote it down here, I'd have to make my letters a little smaller. So this way I can kind of stretch it out a little bit too. I have to be aware of this river that I've drawn in, and you're going to be drawing that in too. So I don't want to go over it too much. Maybe I can. Yeah, that won't bother the river too much. You can still see the. Let's actually draw in that river. We'll do the desert last. Let's do this Nile River. We can draw a line from the Mediterranean here. We can bring it right down, right about that far down. You've got a little bit of a curve, and then it continues about almost 2/3 of the way down, and then you can draw in a large lake right about there. Okay, that's Lake Victoria. I'll actually draw it in, and then I'll take my blue and I'll go over that line. You can kind of put a couple of little lines like this for the delta, the Nile Delta. Spiders out a little bit at the mouth of the river there. Okay, so I'm going to turn my paper. And I think I'll write Nile right here. And then I'll put river down toward the bottom. If you want to label Lake Victoria, that wouldn't be a bad thing to do. That would be kind of nice to identify that large lake right there. Kind of close to the source of the Nile River. Okay, good. Make sure you get that blue to stand out. When you're happy with the location of your continent name, you can always go over it with a colored pencil. I'm using a light brown. And you can do that for the other continents as well. I haven't done that yet, but I thought I'd show you how you could kind of highlight the name of the continent if you'd like. Once you are totally happy with the location of the letters, you don't want to do it until you're really sure about where you want those letters to be. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, now the Sahara is located in this big region of Africa, way up in northern Africa. It kind of spans from almost right up against the coast, way over to this coastline over here. So I'm going to stretch my letters out a little bit. I'm going to make them capital and stretch them out a little bit. I'm just going to write Sahara. And the colors would be kind of warmer colors because it's a hot desert. Okay, so I've got some yellow, maybe some red, orange. See if I can find it. Maybe a little bit of orange, light brown, yellow. Okay, so make a mixture of colors. First of all, let's put some dots. I always like to add some dotted. A little bit of a dotted pattern like that. Just tap your pencil throughout that whole area. Okay, and then a little color. It's fun to mix the colors a little bit. Got some yellow. Maybe a little light brown, light brown. Throw in a little bit of red orange. A little orange maybe. Give it that warm colors. Look, okay. So, yeah, that's looking good. Africa's starting to look kind of filled in here. Got the big Nile, we got the Atlas Mountains, the Sahara Desert, and I've got the little group of islands off the coast. I'm going to spend some time coloring a little bit more of the coast and maybe label a few more other things. And you'll see what you can add to your map too. You can do a little bit more research with your atlas too and decide what you want to show on your map. Okay, but make sure you get those 4 locations added in. All right, great job.